This week, the youngest Minneapolis students returned to in-person school for the first time in nearly a year. Districts throughout the state have been starting to reopen during this new phase of COVID protocols. And with children going back to school, parents may find they can switch gears from survival mode. Carla Holt talked to life and business coach Jasna Burza about what that could mean for all of us personally and professionally.
Joining us right now is Jasna Burza. She's a life and business coach and a person who can really speak to this issue about what it will be like to see our kids go back to school, because she's been in that situation for the last several months. Jasna, I too am there. I've had a third and a fifth grader at home. Right now, what would you recommend to parents who are suddenly looking at perhaps a change in their schedule and lives?
Thank you so much for having me. Yet another change. I mean, how much more can we handle? Number one thing that I would say is exhale. Today, I dropped off my little ones in school for the first time in a year, and it was a change for me too. I think that we have all been overworked, exhausted, physically exhausted and mentally drained. And we have been working too much and managing the kiddos at home and homeschooling, and it's just been a lot. And I think having some kind of a reset, draw a bath for yourself, give yourself permission to do something just for the sake of relaxation, read a book, go for a walk. And full disclosure, I took a 30-minute nap after I dropped off my little ones today. So giving ourselves permission to just kind of step back and really guilt-free, just relax a little bit.
And that is so deserved, I think. I think that we've been running this marathon and now we can have a little bit of a break. That said, we've also been running alongside, in many cases, a partner. Is this a new chance to maybe reconnect, or what would you recommend on that front?
Oh my goodness, yes. I don't know about you, but in our household, it's been all hands on deck. And even for, managing the work, working around the clock and managing the homeschooling, my husband and I, didn't have time to go on dates. There was no babysitters. We've been literally quarantining with the kiddos for almost a year. I think it's imperative to really talk to our partner, our significant others, and reconnect, because that's a relationship that holds the whole family together.
Given all that we've experienced this last year, that we might want to have a change. What do you recommend on that front? Whether this is a moment, now that our kids are going back to school, that we can maybe make a change ourselves?
What a great opportunity right now to reevaluate and take stock. So we've gone through so many changes, and I do believe that things are never going to be the same for so many of us. And I think that some of us are feeling like we don't want to go back to work. Some of us feeling we don't want to go back in person. We want to remain virtual. Some of us are saying all together that we want to create a change in our career, or maybe start a business, or maybe even just stay at home. So I'm in conversations with people who are feeling this. So we're going to see that. My big advice is take the opportunity after you have slept and taken care of yourself, maybe some really strong coffee, pen and paper, and journal. Let that out. Be honest with yourself. Where are you at right now as a human being? And what is it that you want right now for yourself, personally and professionally? Because it may not be the same as it was last year.
Such good advice. All right. So if you are interested in taking other steps, what should be your next step?
Well, I'm going to go back to my first step, which is get some sleep, get some rest. I think that if we really do that and give ourselves a breather, we've been going through a state of survival. So I think thriving right now may seem counterproductive. So that would be the most important prerequisite. And then when we have really been honest with ourselves and figured out, this is the time to act out on those notes, on those insights that we have been writing about. So maybe polish out the resume, maybe reach out to some people and get advice, some informational interviews. So maybe going back to school or taking some other classes, or maybe it's recommitting to our health and wellness. No matter what it is, once we have been restored in a way, I think it may be the time to actually take those baby steps to create a better year ahead of us.
Well, Jasna, thank you so much for all of that really good advice. Jasna Burza, you can go to her website, jasnaburza.com, life and business coach. We so appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to talk to you, Carla.